Hi everyone, this is Casey Astrology. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is going to be a human design video, and in it I'm going to be talking a little bit about having a defined heart center in human design. And I'm also going to be sharing an example of what that feels like based on my own experience as someone who has a defined heart center. So here's a little bit of background on me. I'm an astrologer, card reader, and human design reader with over 6 years of experience practicing and studying in these eighth house modalities, or occult modalities, you can call them as well. I have a very active eighth house in my chart. So in human design, I'm a 6-2 sacral generator. So that means I'm a generator with sacral authority, but I also happen to have a defined heart center. Now, in human design, it's said that only about 30% of the world's population has a defined heart center, while the remaining 70% of the population has it undefined. However, I'm going to provide a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm not sure how accurate this information is currently in this day and age, because I'm pretty sure that this data was originally collected by Ra Uru Hu, who was the founder of human design. And this was probably collected back when he was still, actively teaching human design, and back when he was still alive. But he, of course, has since passed away. It's over a decade ago now, in 2011. So I'm not sure if the data has been updated since 2011 around these numbers. So for all I know, these numbers could be closer to 40-60% now. However, based on this original data, which was collected, it's 30% of the world's population having a defined heart center, and the remaining 70% having it undefined. So that's what I'm going to be quoting. So I just wanted to put that out there before I began. And so with that said, I'm a 6-2 sacral generator, as I said, and I have a defined heart center. And the way that my heart center is defined is that I have the 2644 channel and gate 21 defined in my design. Now, I'll admit that I haven't fully figured out what it means to have a defined heart center in the full capacity of its meaning just yet, but I will say that it definitely gives you some type of built-in self-esteem in my experience. And this was especially true for me in my early 20s when I had very little self-awareness. So when I got my first job out of college, at the time I finally had my own money, and I was able to spend that money on what I wanted to. And so soon after I got that job and I had cash flow coming in, I soon discovered makeup. And I still remember excitedly going to Sephora, to get color matched and splurging on foundation and concealer and blush. That was a really exciting time for me. And I remember that I wore my new makeup every day to work because it just made me feel very pretty and like self-confident. However, as this was happening, me going to work every day, wearing my makeup, living my best life, feeling incredible, something that was also happening at the same time, almost every day without fail, is that whenever I saw one specific coworker, and she was actually a friend of mine that I went to college with, and we both ended up getting a job at the same company. So I would go out to lunch with her probably almost every day. And she would always point out to me, as we were outside walking to go and get lunch. She would always say to me in like this incredulous tone that you didn't blend out your makeup properly. Like you need to be blending out your makeup. And I guess she was talking about my foundation. I'm pretty sure that's what she was talking about. And every time she said this to me at the time, my response would literally just be, "Really?" And I would just laugh and be like, "I've never noticed." And then, that would be like the end of that conversation, and we would just keep talking about the conversation would just move on. And, it didn't bother me. And honestly, not only did I not notice how, I wasn't blending out my makeup or that it didn't look perfect, but I also didn't care at the time because, in my own defined heart center way, wearing makeup was something that made me feel worthy as a person and therefore more beautiful. And so I didn't really see the need to prove myself as being an expert makeup artist or like being incredible at doing my own makeup, because as long as I could go out and buy whatever makeup I wanted and put it on, um, and just be functional at it. Like I knew how to put on foundation, I knew how to put on blush. Like it wasn't rocket science to me. That was enough for me. Like it made me feel good, it made me feel worthy. It made me feel like I had some value to offer to the world because it was something that I loved doing. And so I didn't feel that I needed to be the best in order to meet society's beauty standards, let's say. Now, that's not to say that I didn't feel incredibly insecure with my makeup skills later in life, because I definitely did in my later 20s. But when I was younger and quite new to the makeup world, I really do believe that my defined heart center, um, and the heart center is your willpower, your material willpower, especially, and your desire and want power. Um, it carried me through my makeup journey, is what I wanted to share as my example. Because I also have an undefined G center, and the G center is actually the center that's connected to fashion and in beauty, um, and enhancing those qualities of um, personal fashion and beauty. So becoming more fashionable, raising beauty standards, things like that. That's what the G center represents. And when it's defined, you have fixed access to that kind of energy. But with myself having an undefined G center, those qualities, what that means is that those qualities are not always readily available to me, because it's not fixed in my chart. Whereas my heart center and my want power, as I mentioned, and my willpower is fixed within me. And so I was able to channel that energy into the material world of makeup, and buying the cosmetics that I wanted, that I knew would make me feel good. And I didn't feel the need to prove myself in my makeup skills or try to be the best or try to be the most beautiful or the most fashionable or any of that kind of thing. It's because I had this inherent feeling that I was enough, and I just felt valuable as myself and in my own authenticity. And so, yeah, that was the example that I wanted to share today. This was my own personal example of what it feels like to have a defined heart center. And yeah, so if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this from me, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment, as that really appeases the YouTube algorithm, and it really does help to support my channel. And if you'd like to see more videos like this from me, go ahead and leave a comment letting me know what other center in human design, in the human design body graph, that you'd like me to talk about. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.